This just in. Never a dull moment between the Yankees and the Guardians. Remember a walk-off on Thursday and on Friday with the Yanks up by 1. Little fielding error. And we got ourselves a tie game in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Guardians coming back from 6-2 down to tie it at 6 with an error on Brian Rocchio on the play. That'll be right here, actually. That gives the Yankees the lead at 7-6. Alex Verdugo, little dribbler. Joe Birdie scores. It's 7-6. Rocchio is the one that gets called for the error. We go bottom 9. And the winning run's at the plate. And it's Rocchio, and he grounds out to second base. And that'll do it. The Yankees now take a 3-1 series lead over the Guardians with an 8-6 win. The Yanks jumped out early. Juan Soto with a 2-run homer in the first. Austin Wells made it 3-1 with a solo homer in the second inning, but the Guardians came back. Then the Yankees retook the lead, and this time held on. Tommy Kahnle closing things out for the Yankees in an 8-6 win. And for more on the Yankees' 8-6 win over the Guardians to take a 3-1 series lead, Russ Thaler here in the HQ studio, joined by our World Series champs. We got David Samson, the Marlins president, when they won the title in 2003. Will Middlebrooks, Boston Red Sox. And now we got ourselves what seems to be like an epic series. I mean, it's just never a dull moment between the Yankees and Guardians. What stood out to you about this one in the land, Will, between the Guardians and the Yankees that looked like the Yanks might run away with it, and then it looked like they could blow it again, and they ended up winning it?
So it's an epic series, yeah. It's a crazy games back and forth, right? You feel like you never know what's going to happen until that 27th out or more, like yesterday. But I'll tell you what, 3-1 feels a lot better than 2-2, especially when you have another game to play there at Progressive, where that's a tough place to play in the postseason. I think the story coming into this series was Cleveland bullpen against New York offense, and we're getting a good look at that. But Clase just, again, he had a .61 ERA in the regular season, 10.29 in the postseason. I think he's running out of gas. That was his 80th appearance of the year. That's not a guy you want the wheels falling off at the biggest part of your season. But also something else I thought was funny was 2 squibbers, 2 numbers in the infield were the story tonight after yesterday where it was 4 big homers. That was the story. That was fun to watch.
The most exciting thing about this series is that neither team feels as though they're ever out of the game. It used to be that the Guardians bullpen, if the Guardians have a lead in the 6th inning, the game's over. Those days are past. It used to be the Yankees bullpen. You weren't going to touch them. They were so hot just heading into this series. Now the Guardians feel like they can come back. Judge, Stanton, they're hitting. They're hitting for power, except the Guardians can withstand it. But then you look, and it's 3-1 Yankees, and the Guardians think that they can get 3 in a row. They're not out of it, just like the Mets were, but clearly the Yankees wanted this game with the chance to clinch and get to the World Series. It has been a tight-fought, interesting series that may have more than one game to go.
Yeah, I saw an online thought from a longtime Yankees fan in the middle of this, towards the end of the game. He wrote, "I miss Mariano." Neither of these teams have that sort of locked in. You thought Clase was going to be that guy. He was that guy until what's happened to Clase? What do you see?
It is incredibly common for bullpen arms. You know, Will said it. They're out of gas this time of year. What I'm shocked with is when you don't have any depth in your starting rotation, you don't have starters you can move into the bullpen, which is what we've seen in the last 20 years. But now you look at a guy like Clase, and you look at what he's doing, and you realize that you still have to put him in. And Stephen Vogt is going to take the podium, and he's going to say, he's my guy. I'm going to go to him in a tie game in the 9th. But at some point, you've got to realize that it's different now. And Booney realized it and didn't have Weaver close the game. He had Kahnle. So what do? You've got to adjust. Therefore, for me, I'd like to see the Guardians adjust, maybe by getting a lead.
So another thing with Clase is he lives off of pure stuff. He's always been that guy. He's never been a command pitcher. He doesn't have to be when he has 101 with cut in his back pocket with a pretty good slider that he can surprise you with. But when he loses a tick, just a tick of that command that is already below average in my opinion, that's where you become susceptible to the home run ball, to hard contact, which we've seen over the last couple nights, where he doesn't have the touch and feel with that cutter to throw it up and into lefties, up and away to righties. You're seeing him fall behind in counts, and when that happens, it doesn't matter how nasty you are in the major leagues. You get 2-0, you get 3-1, you have to throw something over the plate. And when you're facing a lineup like the New York Yankees, good luck.
Yeah, and now you're going to get a back-of-the-wall situation in a Game 5 at home. I mean, that's going to take some large huevos to move away from a guy who's had the season that Clase's had. But is that what you guys are both suggesting, that Cleveland should change up the back end of their bullpen now?
I'm suggesting that they're going to keep going to Clase, but I'm telling you that they shouldn't. And the best way to not is to not have a save situation. You've got to get, if you're the Guardians going into this Game 5 that you got to get, it's very simple what the math is. You want to be up by more than 3 runs in the 9th inning. And the fact is that in this series, both teams have the ability to come back. Both teams have the ability to rise to the moment, and it really is sort of punch for punch. It's like Rocky out there, and the question is, who's going to get up before the count of 10? And today it was the Yankees.
I think we can all agree, all the pressure's still on the Yankees, right? I mean, I know Cleveland hasn't won a World Series in, 76 years? 1948? You do the math, it's something like that. I didn't go to college, don't question me. But listen, the pressure's on the team with this payroll, with the active payroll of $250 million against a team who is $50 million active payroll right now, with a rookie manager and a team full of guys who have never been there before outside of Jose Ramirez. So you have this team of the Yankees, even up 3-1, they're feeling the pressure because they have not been to a World Series since 2009. The New York Yankees have not been to the World Series. The pressure is still on them. They want to close this out tomorrow.
Will, you know very well that when it comes to payrolls, once the game starts, there aren't players looking over there and saying, look at that big payroll. We shouldn't even be playing with you. We're so scared of you. We were never scared of you big payroll teams.
Star players matter in big moments. Star players that have been in the big moments. The Yankees have a lineup full of guys. Yeah, they do have some young guys mixed in, but there's plenty of guys on that roster who have played in big games. Yes, they've lost in ALCSs multiple times, but they've been in these high-pressure moments that matter. Cleveland doesn't have that.
No, and by the way, Giancarlo Stanton, 2 nights in a row, hit home runs that could have put him into Yankees lore for and now they'll just be forgotten. They just poof into the night.
He wants a ring very badly, and he was excited for that. But yes, he is locked in, and when Stanton's locked in, he can carry you right through the World Series. He could have 8 or 10 games in front of him right now. The most he could have would be 10, quite obviously, or 9, quite frankly. If you can do the math, Will, I didn't go to college. So therefore, when he's locked in like that, that makes the Yankees lineup that much harder to navigate.
Well, we saw it tonight. They had a base open, and they pitched to him.
Outrageous.
What are they doing? Because everyone is so focused on Judge and Soto. Those are the guys circled. Yet Giancarlo Stanton, don't call him Mike, has been raking. He's hitting 300. He's got 4 homers. He's got, 9 or 10 RBIs this postseason in 2 series. He's the guy. Yeah, Soto's banging too. Don't get me wrong. But how do they pitch to him with the base open right there? That blew my mind.
That was probably the moment of the game, and the Yankees end up winning the game 8-6, holding on in the 9th inning, and now we got a Game 5 coming our way on Saturday, right back there in Cleveland. Will Middlebrooks and Dave Samson. Gentlemen, pleasure. 3-1 lead for the New York Yankees, but as we know, teams have come back from a 3-1 deficit many times throughout the years, including your Marlins, Dave, in 2003, and all the teams you see on this board that came down from 3-1 to win an LCS went on to win the World Series that year. So the Guardians still have a chance. That's what we're saying.